good afternoon on what is a bright, sunny, but chilly day. It is Thursday, the 21st of October. I am back in the reading nook with a very excited tail attached to a cat, and of course a nice hot cup of tea. And I have another free RPG Day title to look at. Now, Free RPG Day took place on Saturday 16th of October, and thanks to Fanboy 3, I have access to all of the titles released on the day. So I will be doing an unboxing of all of them, essentially, and also a full review of each on a weekly basis. So the next one I have here is Vast Grimm, Into the Würmhole, spelt with a U, Quick Start Rules and Adventure. This is by Brian Collin and Ross Brandt, and it's from Infinite Black. What to say there? Curation or something like that, and it's compatible with Mörk Borg. Now, Mörk Borg is the role-playing game that was published via by the Stockholm Collective, and is published via Free League Publishing, and is the doom metal, death metal, old school Renaissance retro clone, and essentially takes place in a pre-apocalyptic world. And I've reviewed that. I really like it. It's got really its own sort of like sensibility that marks out as different to other retro clones. So let's have a look. Into the Würmhole is a disgusting adventure set in the Vast Grimm universe. It includes everything you need except the dice. Try not to die, but more importantly, do your best not to get infected and become one of the Grimm. So there we go. It's on the back. And it's basically an A5 book, and what we've got is inside, anyone not wearing a helmet or mask with an oxygen of some kind must take a DR14 toughness test whenever the GM sees fit, or spend 3 rounds vomiting or lose 1 hit point. So it says Vast Grimm, Into the Würmhole. Here we go, and I presume that's the wormhole. Cat's not bothered either way, as long as he gets a fuss. So he's going to be disappointed when I have to go back inside and go back to work. Essentially, it's Vast Grimm, from what I can tell, is a... let's have a look. It's a infectious sci-fi horror role-playing game, and it's from Infinite Black, and it's Creature Curation. Sorry, it's quite a little bit difficult to read. That's a double C. It doesn't look like it, but I can see what they're going for. And the logo is printed small, and I'm old, or my eyesight is old. So, what was once was. Let's have a look. The earth was once, has been sliced through, gnawed at, chewed, and spit out. All of the remains are floating vestibules anchored to the fragmented carcass of an exploded planet. And the ships. Is there fuel in their cores? Is it even possible to evade and escape the inevitable? I think not. Those who still remain are merely vessels within vessels waiting to be fed upon. Let's not forget the space stations. Perhaps there's still some form of civilization left in these pockets, but when will a dormant awaken to become one of the Grimm? And when will they be called to feast upon their souls? I pray that today is not the day when I am beckoned to become one of them. You think you're ready to face the worms and save humanity? Or perhaps you just want to hightail it out of this verse and find the gate of infinite stars. Hell, maybe that's none of your damn business. Either way, here's the fastest way to get you to where you want to go. The first time you play, use a random character starting on page 8, or generate one at vastgrimm.com. Don't get too attached, it's easy to die, and even easier to become one of the Grimm. So, this has the tone of Mörk Borg, but where Mörk Borg is pre-apocalypse, the apocalypse is coming. It will come at the end of the campaign. Here, the apocalypse has already happened. Earth has been rent into multiple parts, and mankind, as what it is, as the remainder, resides on these parts in space stations, in spaceships, and so on. So you have an even grimmer setting. This is mankind at the end of its, basically at the end of its future. Your survival is unknown. Mankind's survival is unknown. Who knows what will happen? Essentially, what we've got is quick explanation of the rules here. So essentially, it's going to be D20 system. Roll under, really kind of simple, and then we get into essentially where the characters are going. Which is into this worm, into the throat, down into the natural caverns, and so on, and potentially out through the anus. Yeah. This is not nice. And you might encounter leukocytes, immunogoblins. Basically a fantasy stroke science fiction kind of twist upon Fantastic Voyage, the late 60s science fiction movie where they put the science team aboard a submersible, shrink it down tiny and inject it into the body of a scientist and go and do brain surgery on him. But here you're fully sized and the worm is even larger. So essentially you are investigating the innards of a space worm. You remember that essentially that's a bit like that bit in Empire Strikes Back where Han Solo, aboard the Millennium Falcon, races away from Hoth and dives into an asteroid field, chased all by TIE fighters with the Star Destroyer sat outside, and basically finds a big asteroid and finds a cavern and flies into it. And it turns out he's landed in the mouth of any giant creature. It's a bit like that, but worse. So we have, let me see, 4-player characters. So we have Gravar Eclipse, an emo bot, and Manny Tireback, a treacherous Mörk. So there we go. And then Torch Zero, a lost technomaniac, and Fang Balak, a soul survivor, SOUL. Go. And then we've got a bit of advertising. And essentially we've got the last thing we've got up at the table of random encounters. So this is a really short adventure. You could play this in a single session easy. You could probably play this in a couple of hours. And I think it would be really kind of it's really people, if you enjoyed Mörk Borg, you're probably going to enjoy this science fiction variant. And the other one you're going to thinking about is the similar one is Mothership. It's not the same kind of setting, but it's not dissimilar. It's a science fiction horror game. The characters are more perhaps weirder, more esoteric than Mothership, where they are a bit more kind of down to earth and blue collar. These characters you're going to look at go, yeah, once they were blue collar or even they were high tech. With the destruction of the earth, that's no longer the case. And the other thing you can do is take these characters and go to vastgrimm.com, and much like the Mörk Borg site, there's a character generation. You can just click through and come up with a character you want to play. It's all random, and it's all done for you. Just transfer across to a character sheet, or save it, and you've got a ready to play character. As I say, this is really kind of short and to the point, and you should really get, as I said, a good session's play out of that. I quite like this. That's going to give you a good taster. It's a good one-shot, and you can easily drop that into a campaign. And the campaign setup kind of intriguing, because it allows you multiple kind of encounters and so on, different caverns, different starships and different space stations and what might be on them, and even if you basically whatever comes out for Vast Grimm, the other thing is you could easily go look at your other science fiction role-playing games and grab those as well, and sort of essentially run those as encounters for this game. Essentially, like the Arcturus spaceship scenario for Traveller, where the player characters are Mission Arcturus, where the characters are kind of asked, "Can you go and check on that science ship up in orbit?" Well, that's perfect for this, because essentially it's the equivalent of a bug hunt aboard a ship, but there's something weirder going on, and you've just got to turn that up to kind of fit the background for this, and adapt the characters, and you've got a great plot already to run with this. So anyway, I look forward to seeing what this is like when it comes out. I'll give this a proper review in due course. In the meantime, first off, I should thank David Salisbury at Fanboy3 for providing me with a copy of this. Thank you very much. I couldn't have done it without you, and I appreciate your generosity. Next, of course, if you have enjoyed this essentially mini review, unboxing, whatever you want to call it, here in the Nook, then please do click the like button down below. If you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you posting those, and I do take the time to read them. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings or videos here in the Nook, whether it's a standard unboxing, which I do on a regular basis, or in the short term, an overview of a new free RPG Day title, then please do click that subscribe button, and you'll see me here with a book or a game that I will talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for 10 minutes or so. Of course, all accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Yeah, please hit that subscribe button. And lastly, of course, thanks again for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another unboxing video and another title from Free RPG Day 2021. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.